Once I got him here, I'm going to take my rear foot. I'm going to step into him. And I'm going to just continue that down. Okay? You can do either one. It just, maybe you have, if you're a good judo guy or something like that, you can do sweeps real well. There's different ways to do it, but basically as I turn him, if he really wants to try and fight me, which he really doesn't have a chance, because I'm using his momentum against him. So, but if you just want to have that insurance, sure, you could put that knee in there and just drive him over the knee heel for sure. Okay, I'm going to be as realistic as I can. There's a lot of videos out there where they're doing a lot of fancy stuff, and you probably don't have enough time, or it wouldn't work, or the guy is way overcommitted and you can't do it. If someone's going to come in with a punch, well, they're going to bring their arm back. And a trained fighter, as fast as they come in with that punch, they're going to bring that punch back at the same speed. They should. Well, the average crackhead on the street with a knife is not a trained knife fighter. But I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips that's going to make you a little bit more aware of, you know, the possibility. If you're going to be using a knife, you want to put a box here. Okay, it's going to go shoulder width, like a box, and down to his waist. It depends on how small you want the box to be. But the point is that coming from way up here to try and cut him this way is a lot of unnecessary movement. You want to stay within this box so that when you make your knife movements, they're very short. And because they're very small, it is extremely difficult for you to do some kind of a fancy technique. Let's just be real on that one for the get-go. So what are we going to do about this? Does this mean that we can't use any techniques? We can just do blocks and stuff like that? And yeah, you can do that, but you can only do it up to a certain point. Maybe he'll get scared and run away, or the police chase him away or something like that. But if you have something that he wants or something like that, and he's refusing, he's not going to back down, and he keeps cutting at you, don't get close to him. The guy who, and I won't name names, but the guy who originally showed me how to defend myself with a knife and took his knife survival course and all this, basically he wants you to close the distance with this guy, grab onto him, and do some kind of a takedown or whatever. Now, yes, in some situations, you're going to be forced, possibly, to get that close to him and disarm the knife or whatever you're going to do. But do we want to do that? Well, kind of. We don't want him to attack us, but at the same time, we don't want to be that close with each other. Close to him and take a great risk of getting cut up, or I can buy myself some distance. If I have a good awareness of my surroundings and everything, he can make all of these small cuts that I was just talking about, which you probably won't. Usually an average knife fighter will do that, but if he is just a crackhead off the street, he's going to be coming in with these big movements. But let's just say that he doesn't, okay? Let's just say that he's coming in with these short cuts. He's staying in the box. That's fine. If you can't do anything to me if I've got distance, those small little cuts ain't going to cut it. If you're going to want to stab me, you're going to have to make a big, substantial movement. So our theory is, or our concept is, don't get close to the guy. When he gives you the opening, take it. But this is why you train. With what we do, we're not necessarily teaching an art. It's not going to take you years to learn. We hope that you can learn some of this stuff in just maybe a day or two, which is, some people find that to be very difficult, but we try to keep things as simple as possible. It's not going to take you forever to learn how to defend yourself. By creating that distance, he's going to have to commit sooner or later if he really wants to take me out. And when he does that, he can do it once, maybe I can dodge it, but if he comes around the second time, you've got it. This is why you've got to train. You've got to keep all this stuff fresh in your mind. If he wants, I'm going to have him face me now. Let's step back over here a little bit. If my box is my shoulder width down to my waist, his arm is not going to extend anywhere past that box. He's going to keep the knife movements very small. That's what he should do. So keep doing it. Just come in. Okay. Now I could choose to throw my hands in there and try to block, and I may get cut. But if I don't have to, then I'm not going to. Eventually, he might get pissed off because I'm basically just dancing around him. And when he commits, that's when you want to take the opportunity. So when they do go outside that box, they're giving you the opportunity to disarm them or whatever you're gonna do. So, just a tip for you guys.